joyful cry.
We're recording already.
Glory to God.
Glory to Bob.
Hearts resonate.
What?
In the house of the Lord, we celebrate. Bob gives us comfort in troubled times. He blesses our journey with signs and rhymes. Oh, we gather together in unity and grace.
Hold on 1 second there, buddy.
Feeling Bob's presence in this holy place. We walk by his guidance.
How's it going, man? We are live.
Okay.
Feeling his wisdom
Let me pause this
across
stuff.
the land.
We're just killing time waiting for you, man. You walked in our holy time of the Tower Bob. I apologize, my man.
That's fine.
All right, we are going live at the moment, and I got you live. Although I'm recording at the moment, but I also have you live on. I don't know if you can see it right here on the phone. Oh, you can't. I'm gonna fix that thing, but I got the phone going as well. It's pointing at the screen so they can see you. And let me see. Y'all say hello real quick. I'm about to.
Hello, real quick.
Well, yeah, I'm old, so I gotta go back and forth. I have to have it like blown up on the screen so I can see what's going on. I don't feel stupid at all about it though.
I always feel
4 foot water boss is in the room. She's messing up everything. She's an inch high spy. We got Donnie Boy. We got Verde Vampiro. Oh, 4 foot says hello, Goldberg. Dude, that's a good name to have in this business these days. You could just put Goldberg in all your headings and you're going to get views just because of the name Goldberg.
That's right. And everyone says, that's not the wrestler. What the hell am I doing here?
Dude, I was thinking about the kid, the show, the Goldbergs. That's what I was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good though. You're not the wrestler.
Man,
let me get this all fixed up. See, and I get a pass because I look like I'm the Crypt Keeper revisited or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they let me get away with stuff on here that you
one anorexic Santa Claus.
Oh, see, and I forgot the intro. Give me 1 second. We're about to hit up this intro, and you're gonna be freaking amazed. Where's it at? It's right here. There we go. All right, welcome to the show. This is our friend comedian. I put your description at the moment as seasoned comedian because you look you've been. I was a chef, so you look like you're well done, my man.
I am more than well done. I am more than well done.
I hate to ask you, and this I a lot of people get, but how old are you, if you don't mind us asking?
I am 63 years old.
Oh man, you are the age
that's
that I
not
look.
in dog years. That's in human years.
Dude, you're the age that I look. So I'm only 41, but I look like I'm like 75.
You're 41?
See? This guy, he's like, well, I thought I had a contemporary.
How much drugs did you do?
I did a lot. I mean, my junior high and high school years were very fun. But one of my main jokes is I was walking across the street with my boss when I was 21 years old. He's like, and when you're country, like you might not know in New Jersey, but you say Keenan. How old are you, son? I'm 21 years old, sir. Damn, hard living, huh, boy? Yeah, thanks for starting my day off that way, you fucking head. Whatever.
My God.
Well, this is seasoned comedian Goldberg, Steve Goldberg. Dude, that's one of the best things on any social media when you can grab somebody because they're like, ooh, anybody that's putting in the name the Goldbergs, they put your name in, you might pop in like, who the hell is this guy? Or the wrestler that go, dude, I'm gonna send you. I do a lot of AI stuff. A lot of my stuff is 3% me and 90% AI. I do songs like that song you heard. That was AI. That was inspired by another comedian that I interviewed. He had a video of him singing the Pokemon song, but just by memory and like a real band in the background. I was like, that's our introduction right there. So ChattN out. But I love your you do a lot of online comedy from what I see. Do you do a lot of in-person stuff, or is it mainly like Zoom and stuff?
I do. I mean, it's been a slow time because I'm doing I have a whole bunch of stuff going on in my personal life, and I also have been doing a lot of charity work for Israel and Jewish causes particularly. So I do in-person stuff too. I'm doing something on Saturday at Leonia Arts Festival in the town of Leonia, New Jersey. And I do other things, but you can check me out on Instagram at Goldberg Comics. So people who are interested, they can check me out. I don't do lawsuits. A lot of people call because my name is Goldberg. They want me to represent them. No, I am not a lawyer. Sorry, can't help you there.
When I saw you, I was like, he's got to know a lawyer in somewhere. So there's got to be
Can't help
something.
you.
Like, I do want to. I do respect and I wish I was Jewish. Like I believe in God, but I don't believe in Jesus. Like, and I used to work for a Jewish catering company. And we did a lot of work with synagogue. I mean, I wish like synagogues, like they got Friday night meals. Your kids, like you pay the money.
I know, right? We know how
to go.
I mean, you guys, you got the Christians, they got those little wafers. I mean, give me a smear of cream cheese on that.
Yeah, I told you, not you guys. I'm trying to join y'all's
You
club.
should. You eat well.
If I could afford to like be a part of like a synagogue and like be like, hey, here's my friend, send my kid there. Here's my money. Here we go. I'd be so, dude. I used to work there every day of my life. Like I loved it. I loved it to death. I used to have to cook with a cut with a bread knife there, like everything. I used to have to dice with a bread knife because I couldn't bring a knife. Like I'd have to get my knives like blessed by a rabbi. I'd have to get my knives blessed by a rabbi, and I'd only work there like maybe 3 or 4 days a month. So it would not be. They'd be like, we're not getting a rabbi. Just use the bread knife. Just use the bread knife. And so I remember dicing like a carton of tomatoes with his bread knife. Was like that's pretty impressive, Mike.
Yeah,
pretty impressive. I do, dude. I loved your. So do you go live? Because I saw you have like what over 300 episodes of a daily Reels thing.
Yeah.
And that's
ever since October 7th, I go live. I do something called JDLL, which is Jews Defending Life and Liberty. It's really not a comedy thing. I try to throw some comedy in, but it's just me talking. Me talking. Sometimes I have guests. I find that we're in a day and age where people will say whatever the hell they want, true or not true. So I try to just talk about my own experience and talk the truth and talk what I know is true. If something's not true, I don't say it. I only say what's true. So
well, and part of the rules, because I on my YouTube channel when I go live, the rules are no politics, no religion, nothing that's going to get you punched in the face at a bar. And that's just because that's what divides people and that's what gets it in. But I like when I was watching your thing, like sometimes you have to be real, and there's times where I break it down for people like, yo, you're not getting the character Keenan right now. There is the comedian wannabe character that I amp everything up. But right now I'm being serious as a heart attack, guys. Sure. I'm not joking with you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I respect your day. I was watching. I was like, and you do sprinkle some comedy in there, but you can tell that it's a serious thing that you're doing at that moment. It's not too, I'm sorry that I suck with my words. It's not too distant from, you can see how the road could lead you there. Because when you watch your Zooms and watch that, you can see how you're still funny, but you do, I love the one where you were in the synagogue and you had see, and I know the name of it, but I'm spacing on it because I haven't said it forever. What's the name of and I know the hat on the top of the head.
Kippah.
There you go. I know. I like it. But it's all really cool. I really liked it.
Thank you.
But your comedy was absolutely hilarious. And I did want to bring up, have you ever been on this site called Plausible?
During the pandemic, it sounds familiar. During the pandemic, I was on everything. I was in Japan. I was in South Africa. So it sounds. I remember the name. So yeah, I think I was during the pandemic. Not since then.
Well, I just joined it, and it's like Zoom, but for like a Zoom comedy club. Like you could have paid shows. You can have.
Oh, cool.
I'm doing a show every Wednesday night. I'm just starting out trying to learn it. But then on the 18th of this month, or yeah, on the 18th of this month, I'm doing a show with some of the comics I've already interviewed. And every couple of months, I'd like to do a show like that. So if I get it together, the next one, I'd love to invite you on. Like,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah, because I mean, I try to bring a very diverse, and I want to show. The title is, your next favorite comedian that you didn't know about yet. Because I think a lot of us are, we're getting there, and I don't like. I don't know how many interviews you've done, but I don't think anybody really cares, where we're from yet, or what we're doing. They want to hear us be funny, and you started out this being funny today. You know what I mean? And I think that means you're like, okay, now talk about it, because there's a lot of like, so where are you from? What have you done? No, nobody cares yet, man. Get to the funny. Get to the funny. Right. And you're really good at being funny.
Right. I just noticed your name, Keenan and Kel. Like Keenan and Kel from Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah, but I still it's Keenan. It's Keenan Taylor Press. My mom didn't know that Keenan was not gonna be. I was that. You might know it because you're an older guy. You remember Keenan Wynn from back in the day on Disney?
Keenan Wynn, sure.
That's who I'm named after.
So many movies. He had his he was one of those actors that acted with his face, like his eye movements were like incredible. Yes,
I remember the main thing I remember from is the Frankie Avalon Annette Funicello. Like he was in one of those beach movies, or a couple of them.
Right.
That's where my mom decided to name me at. Like before, she's like, I had you named for years. Okay, mom, calm down. But since the 80s, there's Keenan Ivory Wayans, Keenan and Kel. Like she did not know that's. So I lean into it. Like I said, your name being Goldberg, I put that in every title. I lean into podcast names. I any way we can get some views, any way I can get even if they're mad at me, they're like, oh, that's not Fred, because I don't know if you know Fred Durst from the 90s, Limp Bizkit, but he got me played 90% of the time. So I lean into that, and people are like, oh, look what happened to Fred Durst. The funny thing is, when he came out in the 90s, I was in like the 9th grade, and everybody used to, because I was 300 pounds, they called me the fat Fred Durst. Wow. Then I like leapfrogged him. Now I'm like the old Fred Durst. Like, what happened to Fred Durst? Dude, he is 10 years older than me, my man. 10 years older.
Uh-huh.
But Steve Goldberg, man. Steve, it's a great name, and it's a very good name, very strong name, my man. Very strong name. And doing this stuff, like yesterday, I interviewed a guy on his toilet in London, a Brazilian comic, like doing all these things, like, oh, you're doing this, you're doing, like, he was pretty funny, but it was a weird, like the way he was sitting on the toilet, legs spread, like just sitting there doing this. I had people going, why is that guy sitting on the toilet? I was like, I don't know, just let me interview him.
Well, I guess he's Brazilian. He was giving himself a Brazilian, right? I guess that's.
I brought that up, but he didn't. He's like, no, I'm from Germany. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, he's like, I'm from Germany. My mom's Brazilian, and my mom's Brazilian and Sicilian. She's like an old godfather. She'll kill you. And like, well, damn, dude, he was funny as can be, and he was like very photogenic. Like his Instagram, like every picture, he was like. I was like, dude, you're photogenic as hell, my man. I wish I was that photogenic, dude. But Mr. Steven, how long have you been doing comedy? Have you been doing it since the pandemic? Just trying to.
I know I've been doing comedy. Well, first I started writing. I did a lot of writing it was called Comedy Wire back then, and but live comedy I've probably been doing for about 7-8 years. I started out, growing up in New York City. I did some stuff in the Borscht Belt. I don't know if people would know the Catskills was a place.
Dude, you're starting a whole nother podcast. I know not a whole lot, but I love that kind of comedy. The Borscht Belt, Catskills. They used to hire the basketball players. You have big, tall dude serving you, dude. I would love to just talk to you about that one day, dude. I'm not even
right. So that kind of died because the Borscht Belt died. So, and then I really started picking it up about 7-8 years ago. Really starting doing live comedy. I did, live theater stuff like that. But the live stand-up comedy where you have to create your 5 minutes really started about 7-8 years ago.
Cool. And if I'm not wrong, isn't Dirty Dancing like a watered down Borscht Belt type of thing?
Yes, Dirty Dancing
That's what these kids know. You got to say something to, and I'm saying kids like that's the kids today
Dirty
don't
Dancing is probably the best sort of. And actually, I was a waiter in the Borscht Belt too, where I worked as a waiter and.
Okay. People aren't. This is gonna age us, but what's the best old school comedian you've seen in the you saw like in the Borscht Belt? You're like, oh my god, this guy! I can't believe I'm serving food where this amazing, because they had amazing comedians like kind of hired to like, oh, we're bringing in such and such. I'm sorry,
You know who killed in the Alan King? I saw in the Borscht Belt. He killed in the Borscht Belt. Killed it. You know who bombed actually? And this is interesting, and I kind of like him. Bill Maher was in Concord Hotel. They booed him off the stage.
He doesn't seem like he doesn't. I love Bill Maher to death. I'm not. I love his movies. I love his TV show, but he does not seem like it. Just depending on the crowd. Like I could see how a group of and was it older Jewish people or was it like just?
Oh, it's Jewish. Generally Jewish people, middle age, older. Yeah. So
yeah, when I say, I mean, I definitely didn't mean anything by it because I have worked for older grumpy Jewish people that have just. Like my CEO at my catering company was a Jewish person that would just get up and he was such I loved him to death, but such a pain in the butt, But I can see how Bill Maher could bomb. Probably the greatest thing I ever saw, and I have to thank my mom. She took me to a lot of concerts that I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan when I was younger. I went to Beach Boys out in the thing, just Bonnie Raitt, weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But she took me to see Damn Yankees, the play.
Oh, it's a great play.
Great play, but Jerry Lewis was in the play, and
Jerry Lewis is my favorite comedian of all time.
I got to see him do 10 minutes live in intermission, like whatever it was, and like I didn't know at the time, but it's like looking back at it, I was like, you saw Jerry Lewis do live comedy for like 10 minutes. Like, that's kind of a blessing in disguise that you didn't realize as a kid, like how amazingly awesome that was.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis is my hero of comedy. He just is, and he literally started as a busboy at the Browns Hotel, and did some shows there, and that was his big break.
Oh, the man was. I mean, just the man was alone. The bellboy. I mean that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen there's a new movie with one of the guys from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I forget the name. But he plays two characters, and the main one is like completely silent, and it's such a send up to Jerry Lewis, and it maybe is the best version of that completely silent character I've seen since then. I mean, very good, very good. And again, I'm not even joking. I would love to just sit down with you one day and talk Borscht Belt and old school comedy, because I'm one of those old school comedy nerds, and I know I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit about a lot of things. And the Borscht Belt and that 50s, 60s, 70s comedy. I mean, the roast, dude. Oh my God, I'm one of those stupid nerds that love to watch the Dean Martin roast. Like,
my God, they were great, weren't they?
They were so good, but they're so underappreciated.
And whoever, anyone, they were just really good. I mean, I think the big difference between Borscht Belt comedy and regular comedy club comedy was the Borscht Belt comedy. One, you had a comedian. It was usually part of a show. There was also a musician that came on later. So either the comedian opened or the musician opened. So it was a mixed show. And they went on for 45 minutes, joke after joke after joke, very little crowd work. Now you walk into a comedy club and it's like immediately, comedians are like dealing with it. It's just joke. Lots of emotion, lots of hand movement and stuff like that, which is probably why Bill Maher just, he's very flat. He's not,
And like I said,
he just bombed, and very little political humor. Borscht Belt was about, usually a lot of self-deprecating humor goes over very well in the Borscht Belt. That's the Borscht Belt, and very different than comedy clubs.
I would win. I'm all self-deprecation all day long. Like if you
Yeah,
mention,
yeah, I'm self-deprecating too. Unfortunately, as I get older, I'm also self-defecating. But we'll
listen, I have a joke like if you've ever woken up in the morning with your own shit in your bed, you wake up like you're in the Godfather
Mhm.
movie with that horse, and you're like, "What is this? Oh
Right,
my god! Oh no!" Like I mean, and I'm
right,
talking like
right,
those are unfortunately those are drunk days for me at this
right.
moment from back in the day. But that's
And that's sort of the difference. The old school, at least the Borscht Belt comics, would self-deprecate. The new comics, I mean, what do? They put down the audience, So it's sort of
and
a different.
how do you feel about crowd work? Like, I
I
didn't
hate
really
it. I
I
hate
see.
it.
I'm not a fan of it. Like, and I feel like I'm down for crowd work if somebody's talking to you. If it comes out naturally, I'm okay with crowd
Right.
work. The natural
Absolutely.
movement. But sometimes your crowd might be flat, and what are you going to do? And a lot of times, like I see, there's a lot of workshops on this plausible where you can go and work out your comedy and talk about things. And there's one just about crowd work, and I'm like, there's like you can stretch out, you can get 15 minutes. I'm like, why are you telling these people that you can get 15 minutes extra time with this? Like crowd work should be something you work on that's in your
Right.
back pocket, but not something that you rely on.
Right. I mean, if crowd work is natural, I mean, there are some people that are really good at it, but
Mhm.
most of the people that I mean, like I saw Judah Friedlander once do a whole set on crowd work.
Dude, I'm telling
Really?
you, we might be distant cousins comedy wise. Judah Friedlander is one of my favorite movies. Him and the what's the movie with him and Paul Giamatti about the artist?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I can't
I forget his
remember.
name, but he played the best nerds character. It's the guy that like he inspired the Revenge of the Nerds type character, wearing the pocket protector on that. Judah Friedlander is an amazing comedian and actor. That's one of the best things about comedians is that I say I've done open mics and I've done
Hmm. Hmm.
nothing compared to everything. I think I'm better at being a host and just bringing my comedy. But I love working on it, and I love like it kind of strengthens you for everything else. And like you said, Bill Maher bombed, but as a comedian doing anything, like you're gonna bomb sometimes. And I tell
And
everybody,
you have to find your niche. I mean, Bill Maher finds his niche.
yeah,
He's great with political humor and in that sort of talk show space. But in terms of crowd work, I mean, I can't tell you how many shows I've been on, and every comedian feels the need to do crowd work, and every comedian picks on the same couple. It's just
right,
and I can't tell you how many of my friends who I say, "Hey, I'm on a show," come to, and they're afraid to walk into a comedy club. They
right.
are fearful that they're going to be picked on. Especially if a guy is bald or they're fat or whatever, they are afraid. So where do they sit? They sit. I mean, comedy is the only type of entertainment where the front row is the last place where people sit. Think about that.
Were you talking specifically to me about the bald and
Yes,
fat
yeah.
people?
Apparently, I was. I didn't know
That's
that.
not cool, my dude. Like, I mean, you and all that. Look at you, you and all that freaking hair. I was like, you and this hair. I see you, old man. But no, I mean, it's supposed to be in your back pocket, and you should not be picked on at a comedy club unless you are asking for it and you like are talking back to them. If you're interrupting my show and you won't be quiet,
Right.
I'm gonna pick on you, and then the crowd work starts. And I'm never one of those people because I was a 300-pound fat kid. As you can see, I'm bald, I'm chubby still. Like I
Right.
don't when I pick on you or I say something to you or I bully you, I don't pick on what everybody else is gonna pick on. I'm not
And
gonna
even
bring up you being fat, bald, or chubby. I'm gonna be like, look at that
right.
majestic hair you have.
And
I bet.
even if your crowd work is excellent and your joke is excellent, the only people that know that are the people who actually see who you're talking to.
Right.
Like can't tell you how many times I'm in the show and someone's doing crowd work and I'm like bending over my head to see who he's talking to. But yeah, crowd work is honestly, if you ask me, I think it's on some level killing comedy. I mean, I think it's just where comedians feel it's funny to pick on someone, and yeah, I just I if I do crowd work, it's very little. It almost comes natural. So
Yeah.
yeah, I try to I want people to say, "Hey, you wrote a funny set. Your jokes are really funny." You
Right.
know,
Well, see, like that guy that just came out, I forget his name, but he just came out. He did an all crowd work comedy special, and it was
Oh
good.
yeah, I saw that, and
Yeah.
I have to say
Go ahead, say.
that had to be staged. I mean, the first person he spoke to was the woman whose mother did the blowjob videos, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
And that's the thing. It was staged. It was whatever. Somebody's calling me on my phone. I don't even care. It was staged. It was whatever. But it maybe it was a little bit improv. Maybe he was coming off the top of his head, and it was good for what it was. But everybody that walked into that show knew what they were walking into, knew the kind of comic it was. So they knew and it was funny. It had laughs, and I don't mind that at all.
I actually liked it. I thought it was well done. I thought it was funny.
There you go.
I wonder how. And he had a really nice Matt. What was his name? Shit.
Matt Wright. Thank you. You gave me the first name that helped me out with it. I couldn't think of it at first either, man. I'm so sorry. He's a good comic.
And I felt like he really had a nice quality about him, and it wasn't him against the crowd, you know. And I think too many comedians have this sort of competition with the crowd, and I thought it was well done. I thought it really was well done. I wonder and question whether it was real, but at least you're right. I think everyone who walked in there knew it was good, that they could be part of the show, if you will, and maybe wanted to be part of the show too.
Right. And I mean, I don't know if it was real or not, but I know they, you know, just like with any comedy special, you record like 2 or 3 of them, all the same. You're wearing the same stuff, and you take the best of everything. And maybe if somebody comes up and be like, "Hey, that was really good. The story about I can't believe your mom did the blowjob video. Can you come back? Because you sit in the next show and me ask the same question. Let me write a couple more jokes out." And that's what it was, and that's still good. There's nothing wrong with that. But
absolutely.
A lot of comics here say like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Are you a guy from Florida? Hey, you're from Jersey? Oh, Jersey and Florida, they fucking like, guys, come on, dude, shut up."
I did one show, you know, lots of shows have 9 or 10 comedians on the show, and there was this older couple in the front row, and at least 4 or 5 comedians asked this older couple how long they're married and if they're still having sex. The same fucking question, and I'm like, aren't you even watching what the comedian before you did?
Right.
But no,
I know that, man. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right, man. I'm very sorry, but it feels like I keep getting phone calls. Maybe someone trying to get in. Maybe we've been going for an hour. I would love to keep talking to you. Like I said, you feel like a kindred spirit, and we could even I could do a whole talk show just about the board. And I would love.
Would love it.
Time, maybe we could even do something good just called Talking Comedy every once in a while. Dude. We don't gotta do it every week, dude. But and like tonight, 9:00 in Texas, I'm going to Plausible Comedy. I do an online podcast kind of thing, and I'm still figuring out, just trying to figure out the whole little scene. So I mean, if you want to check it out, I'll send you a link to it, and you can come by anytime. I think you'd be the kind of perfect comedian for Plausible.
Great.
You're already pretty well versed in it, and you could even do. You know, there's a podcasting link, there's an open mic link, there's a workshop link, and you might even be good at like hosting workshops and like I said, like, and that's what I do want to speak up on their crowd work thing. Like I say, like, oh, crowd work is bad, but their crowd work the workshop that they do try to keep it clean and keep like, oh, you be nice to people, you do this, blah blah blah, you know, the way it is. So you know, it'd be great, man. It'd be great, but I do want to appreciate Mr. Stephen F. Goldberg. I know your middle name's not F, but that's what that guy does. It's Adam F. Goldberg. So if you did something like that, I'm telling you, dude, you title anything the Goldberg something, because I mean you get views just because of the name Goldberg, man. Just because of the name Goldberg.
If it works, I'll take it.
I found you absolutely hilarious, dude. And again, I'm gonna contact you on the side just to talk about maybe we can talk more old school comedy, because
we love it.
I look as old as you are, so we could be buddies, I think.
That's right.
Stephen Goldberg, you were absolutely hilarious. Guys, look in the description. It's going to have his links. Go and follow him. Let's build him up. It's going to be, I have a couple of y'all like lined up to where I can, like when I'm off and when my son's home, I can still put y'all up. So once a week, I put these interviews back up. So I'll let you know when it goes live. And I don't do a whole lot of editing. I like to kind of leave it loosey-goosey and see how it goes. And I really enjoyed this, Stephen. Thank you so much for coming.
Here. Be well. Take care.
Stay right here for a second.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, happy Hanukkah, right? Do you celebrate
Thank
Hanukkah?
you. Yeah. Hanukkah,
right.
yes.
All right, hold on one second. I'm going to end this real quick, and then I want to talk to you.